Good old Tony still going strong. Okay, episode 399 of Bellew of the Week then. Let's get stuck into it before we finish up for the evening.
His interview wasn't worth
you in this boxing salon, whatever you're called, right? You see, you must be the most bored man on planet Earth, because what you do is you sit and talk about what the fuck I do. Remember this, right? What you talk about, I do. I do it. You talk about it, I do it. So that gives me the right to say whatever I want about what I do. It doesn't give you the right because you don't do it. Now, if you show me a video of you doing it and doing it at the level I do it at, then maybe you can have a say. But remember this, I fight, you watch. It's that simple. That's all it's about. I fight, you watch. No one gives a shit about what you say or what you do, but they give a shit about me because I fight. I don't watch. As simple as that. Your podcast isn't worth a carrot. I don't give a shit what you say, what you do. If you've got something to say to me, I'm not hard to find. I'm usually on the front row of boxing events. Come and say hello, or come and say to me what you'd say to me on your daft podcast. But remember this, I get more views with a fart than what you get with a 2-hour podcast. On that
Oh my God.
Like a fine wine, Bob.
I tell you what, he was brilliant on catchphrase, but who am I to say who was good on catchphrase? Because I myself, of course, have never been on catchphrase. So unless I've seen in a video doing catchphrase to the level of Tony Bellew, then I shouldn't comment on it.
When you've stood next to Roy Walker, Rob, then you can have a say.
Say what you see, Tony.
Oh, what a man. Well, let's get stuck in then, shall we? Ozzy, first one this week. You're going to enjoy this. It's from the man himself.
Yeah, we've seen Callum Smith pushed to the brink when he's underestimated fighters. And make no mistake, yes, he underestimated John Ryder. Did he beat him? Absolutely, he beat John Ryder. I'm sick of people saying, just because someone does better than you thought he done, it does not mean he won. I've seen it time and time again. Carlos Baldomir against Floyd Mayweather. He does far better than everyone anticipated. It doesn't mean he beat him. Jose Luis Castillo done far better than anyone imagined against Floyd Mayweather. Did he beat him? No, he didn't beat him. Maidana, insane. He didn't win. He just done better than you expected. Don't let that sway your actual judging on a bout.
Yeah, that's us told.
This coming from a guy who had Derek Chisora beating Alexander Usyk 2 weeks ago because Chisora did better than expected.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Where's he going with Baldomir? Did he confuse
I think he meant Maidana, Rob. Yeah, I think he meant
fucking
Maidana.
hell, Carlos Baldomir got the ears boxed off for 12 rounds. Fuck me.
Baldomir's not doing too well now anyway.
Certainly not. He's not up there in the P for P list anymore.
The P for P list.
Shouldn't joke about that, man. Fuck me, Baldomir. Fuck. Anyway, I'll move on, Steve. Fuck's sake.
I think we probably should look up or don't look up Carlos Baldomir. Yes. First nomination here for Bazooka Boxing. Devin Haney said, "Don't believe the internet. They will flip a narrative and trick the people. Pay attention. Believe what you see." Bazooka Boxing gets stuck in and said they've got Devin Haney #1 pound for pound, followed by Errol Spence, Terence Crawford, and Jamal Charlo. Doing well there, lads. Keep it up. Michael Benson, Dillian White talking about Alexander Povetkin. I personally don't think he's got COVID. I just think he needed more time to get ready because he took a lot of damage in the first fight. He took a lot of time off. Though I got stopped, I went straight back into training, says Dillian White. Greg Cross nominated him for that little Bellew League entry there. ESPN ringside, apparently Kaiser Cobra nominating Terence Crawford. I think Crawford said, send him back to New Zealand. Laugh my ass off, bro. He's from Sheffield. They are so far apart and different. He's not from New Zealand, Dave. Bit of geographical problems going on there for Terence.
I wouldn't expect any less from Terence. I'm proud of him. Well,
I wish someone would go say that to fucking Terence Crawford, by the way. Go and correct him. See what he gets. I love that he thought he was from New Zealand. That's fucking brilliant.
Good old Terence. DAZN announcing Bridgerweight to discuss. Cale Gardy says, I think it's good. There is enough of a weight difference between cruiser and heavy. Still want to see the Bronze Bomber get the heavyweight belt, then go down. He might be going down, like in the last fight. Lewis Calvert nominating him for that one. Marcus Bellinger nominating David Haye. Haye said Dillian White. Dillian White, saying David Haye conned his way through his boxing career. Marcus Bellinger says, does this man have no concept of irony? Terry Woodfine has nominated Keith Idek. Shout out to Terry as well. He also brought it to my attention, that Tony Bellew clip at the beginning of the Bellew of the week. So shout out to Terry for that one. Ricky Gravel, Trump being stung by Boxing Kingdom. Boxing Kingdom put up a picture saying Mayweather Sr. giving a 12-year-old Teofimo Lopez some tips at the 2006 Amateur Boxing Championships in Cardiff, Wales. Anthony Crowder put a smiley face. Steve Bunce got completely drawn in by this one. He says, Cardiff, World Amateur Champs 2006. Who checks their facts? Trump.
He's like his dad with a Facebook page, isn't he? Like,
oh dear. It's Bunce's best moment since this, maybe.
Ukraine, you know.
You think you're not bothered? You're going to take it?
But I had the two brothers got a restaurant there. I was going to go eat in their restaurant.
What, a couple of African guys or just a couple of black Britons?
No, the Klitschko brothers got a restaurant.
Oh, the Klitschko brothers. I thought you meant two brothers.
No.
Well, the Klitschko brothers got a restaurant.
Yeah, they got a big restaurant there apparently, so I'm going to have a steak there.
I'd never seen that until you played it a few weeks ago. Absolutely fucking brilliant, that. Chisora's face, man.
Oh dear, good old.
It's always a bad sign when, you know, like a guy as crazy as Del Boy is coming off as the normal sane one in the room.
What is going through Bunce's mind to say that? What is
He's trying to be cool, isn't he? I think.
Yeah, but then don't just say, "Oh yeah, a couple of black guys, a black African guy." I'm like, no, you wouldn't say, you know, if it was fucking Tyson Fury or a couple of white men, would you? Or yeah, a couple of white gypsies or something like that. It's just weird. I just don't get what goes through his mind to think, yeah, this is an appropriate thing to say.
And then he was very specific as well. He was like, are they African Britons or Jamaican Britons? What kind of brothers are they?
Yeah.
To be fair, there's no one better than Buncey to deal with that, though, is there?
And we are all set very shortly now for our top of the bill here tonight at the BT Sports studio. It is for the famous and historic British middleweight title. And before we get to talk about our main fight here, David, I think it is perhaps appropriate tonight that we just pause to mark Black History Month, most of all. And we discussed it today, and we thought it was actually right that we acknowledge that properly, and there's nobody better placed on our team to do that than Steve Bunt. So over to you for a moment, Steve.
I always say that was not Bunce's fault. That was the handover. That Bunce is not to
Dempsey. Yeah, no, Dempsey stitched him up there, didn't he? Like,
yeah, massively.
We can still enjoy it. Michael Benson reporting again. All these Benson nominations coming in. Kell Brook, you can see it in my eyes that this is going to be your toughest fight. Terence Crawford says, both your eyes are messed up. How am I going to see it in your eyes?
That's just cold.
Didn't a nomination for Brook as well, because didn't he say, like Snoop Dogg, I'm going to smoke bud? That didn't end too well.
Well, that's a pretty good line, though, by Brooks.
It was highlight of the night for him, to be honest with you.
There's more than hitting someone in the face. Danny Morrill on Dave Allen's inside knowledge says this looks even worse, Ozzy, in the light of that sparring clip, doesn't it? For Dave Allen, like David Almond nominating that one there. There's more to than someone hitting you in the face, says Danny Morrill. So talking about Dave Allen. Moving on, let's have a look here. Andy has nominated Cynthia Conte. Kell Brook states on his media call he will make Crawford quit on the stool. # Crawford Brook. Texas Tornado. Gabe, remember him? Might come back on one of the days. Said not Bellew of the week. When it happens, it never happened, did it, Dave?
Jesus. Didn't Crawford say something to him at the finish as well? He stand over him and say something to him after knocking.
Yeah, and then he seemed to then indicate to the ref that he'd gone over to see about his whereabouts. But I agree with you, Rob. It seemed like he was going to slag him to me.
Yeah, he was going to say something, and the ref was like, "Be a gentleman" or something, and he was like, "I'm just checking he's okay." But he stood, looked at him. If that's him inspecting to see are you okay, you wouldn't want to see him mad at you, like.
Crawford pushed in his stool.
Kell Brook doing anal. The boxing bulletin was Mike Tyson, the greatest pound-for-pound fighter of all time. He then puts up a little bit of evidence. David Almond has nominated him for that. This is a good one, Ozzy. I love an Isaac Lowe nomination. I think it might have been James O'Connor who put this one in. Isaac getting ready for one of his fights on his Instagram. Hands getting rape ready.
in the week, fitting tribute to Peter Sutcliffe from Isaac Lowe there. In the week that it was.
I love a bit of Isaac Lowe on social media. The hands getting rape ready for battle. Good old Isaac there. ESPN Inside introducing the new Bridger category between cruiserweight and heavyweight. Prime Type Myson nominated him for that one. There might have been another one in between. Possibly. Best KO of 2020 would be this, Povetkin against Dillian White. Frank said, dunno, that tank knockout over Santa Cruz was fucking brutal. Santa Cruz. And then your man put up that photo, David.
I love the picture of Santa Claus going on a cruise.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah. For our audio listeners, that's a bit of a visual one there, but I'll maybe put it up on the Twitter or something. G-Core 211 has nominated Gavin Casey. I've sat at many ringside with Gavin. He's a good guy. He's been nominated here. There are people who tune in for the odd Katie Taylor fight who seem to think that when she batters an opponent, the opponent must be shit. George Foreman dropped Joe Frazier 6 times and blasted him out inside 2 rounds in 1972. Don't know if you've heard of Frazier, but he was good, Rob. Case closed.
Where's he go with that? Like, what's the point of that?
I guess he's saying Gutierrez is on Joe Frazier.
Joe Frazier's never. Fuck me, man. Gavin, have a day off, man.
Yeah, Gutierrez could have done with crawling into a Philly shell. Andy again nominating Hassan. What about this then, Donny? Brook can still win a title at 154. He smashes most, if all of them, in that division, Don.
Wait, what's that? I'm sorry?
A nomination for Hassan. He's looking on the bright side, Donny, after Kell Brook lost to Crawford. He said Brook can still win a world title at 154. He smashes most, if not all of them, in that division.
Oh, dear God. Oh, no. No.
Hassan putting the 154 division on notice again there.
Yeah.
Yeah, more chance fighting Hassan McQueen now, maybe. Shout out to one time. Declan Graffin. I know you're probably getting bombarded with Bellew of the week. It's always time for one from you, Declan. Hope you're well. Mimoon signing with about billions. I didn't hear about that, actually. And Tim Bradley as well for saying Brook is the #1 British welterweight in the world. William McNamara has nominated Carlton Palmer, a former footballer extraordinaire. Spoke to Kell last night. He is well up for it. The big difference is with the WBO, he does not have to weigh in again, so he can refuel. He'll probably be 149, 150 when he enters the ring. That is huge.
Isn't it, that's like what Oscar weighed in at, like versus Pacquiao. Like, remember when he only put on 2 pounds?
If he can roll back the clock to the Porter fight, Rob, he could stop him. Could you imagine if he ballooned up by that 1.5, 2 pounds there?
It's only meant 159, 160. Diddy Carlton was the head of the ball once too many times there. Fuck me. Or maybe he got it mixed up when he said he ran Kell Brook and he was up for it. So I don't know what happened.
Carlton's a big lad. I think he could take him. Also, final one here from me. Andrew Maloney obviously getting robbed last night. We mentioned this earlier on in the pod. Everyone was getting stuck in. Everyone can have an opinion unless they've done it, as Tony Bellew says. Well, Helen Mirren's on Instagram talking shit. Actress.
What?
Until Helen Mirren's thrown a few punches, she can't say that Maloney was clearly robbed in Vegas tonight. Shame on the Nevada Boxing Organisation. What the fuck?
Wait, what?
Helen Mirren?
That's
Is it
unbelievable.
really Helen Mirren, though, or is it somebody with that screen?
Yeah.
No, Sarge verified and all that. Fucking hell, man.
That's got to be one of the most random ones of the week.
Let me
Mirren.
find out what Dame Judi Dench thinks about all this. So we'll get Brenda Fricker on the phone right now.
I'm just waiting for Meryl Streep to be like, Dave Allen is fucking shit.
Queen Elizabeth's like, you've got to sack
fucking hell.
Victor Loughlin right now.
Victor Loughlin, by the way, for giving that Spanish girl around last night. The fucking cheek of him, man. What is he on him? Victor Loughlin gave the Spanish girl one round. Which round did he give her? Holy shit.
I don't know. The lads in the chat, get Helen Mirren on the pod. Evening, Helen. Yeah, if anybody's friends with her on Instagram or Twitter or whatever, drop her a DM. Let's see if we can get Helen Mirren.
I love the way she fucked off women's boxes straight away. Went straight to Maloney.
She's pure raging. Any nominations from you, Donny, this week?
No, I'm not this week, but we'll get there.
We'll get there. Jason Chukwu says nomination at the Boxing Silent Wellings. Are you nominating me, Chukwu, or are you nominating somebody else? I don't know. I got one coming here as well, actually, from Ross Phillips. Shout out to Adam Smith, not Adam Smido Smith, but Bean, indeed, for referring to female boxers as lady warriors. So, Bellew of the Week from Ross Phillips there. I think our friend of the pod, Sam, sent me one in as well, live on air. Let's see if I can read that out. Vito Andolini. For fuck's sake, we've lost Dave Allen, Dillian White, and no Tyson Fury fights. November and December was looking so good a month ago. Ozzy, unfortunately, is not here to enjoy that one. Is somebody nominating me? Come on, boys, get stuck in. I'm happy to take a nomination if need be. Hey, to Dave, who are you going for? Nominations.
This isn't for you, Stephen, but I mean, anyone who knows, I haven't got the tweet in front of me, but Peter Fury, being the gentleman that he is, I think he was watching the Taylor fight. He said something like, well, if we're going by looks, Katie Taylor's got this. Her opponent's face looked like she had a 30-fight career in bare knuckle.
Then he said, this is what it's like if you put a racehorse in against a donkey.
He's a real feminist, that Peter. Equal treatment. Yeah. And also, I got to nominate my man Bob. I did enjoy this statement post-fight, but he said something like, let me tell you something. Errol Spence and Danny Garcia fighting in December. I would take Bud Crawford that night and put him against both. On the same night, he'd beat both of them.
He always comes off with something out of him, doesn't he? He always has to bring in like Sugar Ray Leonard or Hearns or Hagler or somebody as well. He can. I know.
That's just the fucking weed talking, man.
He promoted Hearns.
Yeah. No, I know they're the greats, but he nominates. He links them to everybody. But there's no need, Bob. There's no need. Smido's in the chat there. I love Chukwu, says Smido. So. Thanks for that. Ken Doherty's lazy demeanour says, I nominate Bellew of the Week, Matt Crawford's trainer, for being fat, loud and annoying. Also, Ken Doherty's lazy demeanour has nominated Katie Taylor's opponent for looking like Hector Bellerin. Yeah, the Crawford crowd were fairly going for it, weren't they, last night? Flip me. We'd like to be caught by a couple of them, just the women alone. Aim says there was an account treating boxing screenshots. I can't find it now. Just going up and down the chat here, guys, see if we can find any more. MB nearly treated her. Yep. Any nominations from you, Rob? I'm liking a bit of Helen Mirren myself now.
Helen Mirren is a front runner this week, but Bean and Macklin, man, the two of them are pathetic. During the Rachel Ball fight, I love the way as well Adam Smith is like trying to be not sexist, but being inadvertently sexist at the same time. He goes, Rachel Ball, she's in the Cobra Kai dojo or whatever fucking karate club she's in. He goes, she does kickboxing, karate, marathons. She's probably fitter than you, Matt.
Probably.
Matt's like, yeah, I reckon she might be, yeah. And fucking Macklin for saying that Katie Taylor is a global superstar 3 times before the end of the first round. It's tough to beat Helen Mirren this week, though, man. Helen fucking Mirren, man. Unbelievable.
Marty Smith, Alan Usyk, sparring Bellew of the Week as well. Ken Doherty. Yeah, Ozzy, you've joined us just in time. There's been quite a few solid nominations. And if you saw this one, Ozzy, Helen Mirren getting stuck in on the Maloney. Did you see it?
Outstanding. Absolutely outstanding from Helen Mirren. God knows where that came from, but yeah. Excellent that she's had a slide, having a go at the Nevada boxing organisation as well. So, yeah, fair play to Helen Mirren.
Absolutely. Do you have any nominations, Ozzy, before we wrap them up?
Yeah, they go by the NBO.
What do we think to Tony Bellew would react to Helen Mirren's comments because she's never boxed, has she? Or she's never, she's not part of a commission.
He probably gets away with it, man. He probably gets away with it because he was in Creed 1 and Creed 2. So, you know, he is an actor himself. So he probably has a right to have a pop at Helen there, in fairness to him. Leave him alone.
Exactly. When you've appeared like Tony.
The one for me is Carlton Palmer for saying Brook would be massive because he doesn't have the the rehydration clause, and he was going to put a whopping 2 to 3 pounds. So yeah.
Oh, the YouTube chat last night on the Katie Taylor fight. You think we have some bangers in our chat? The Katie Taylor versus some Spanish girl fight descended into an IRA versus the LBF chat last night. All you could see in the comments was IRA, LBF, LBF. It was fucking ridiculous, man. Unbelievable.
I know you have to turn them chats off, them, man. They are ridiculous. Right, let's go around the boys then. First of all, Donny Baseball. Great to have you back on with us. Who are you going for tonight, sir?
I think Dame Helen Mirren would have to be my choice for this week. I'm looking forward to getting her on the pod very soon. Hopefully, Asylum fans who may be followers of her on Instagram can reach out to the actress and see if she can come on and give us some more thoughts.
Absolutely. Love a bit of Helen Mirren on a Sunday evening. And Maloney was clearly robbed in Vegas tonight. Shame on the Nevada boxing organisation. Going in on Bob Bennett there, Ozzy. Is it Helen Mirren for you?
Oh, without a doubt, yeah. Carlton Palmer a close second.
Johnny Horsecock Nelson in the chat there says nomination for Glenn McCrory for saying Darren Barker is a British boxing great. You're an American boxing great. The official voice of American boxing, no less. Hey to Dave. Who are you going for?
I think that Helen just barely edges out Betty White complaining about Deontay Wilder's excuses.
I liked the Isaac Lowe one as well, Rob. Him Instagramming out saying he's
imagine that wasn't a typo, ready. Man. Imagine how scary that'd be if it wasn't a typo. He'd be like, I don't want to fight this fella. Shit, man, it's only a game. No, Helen Mirren, man. Helen Mirren is fucking absolutely brilliant. But it says more about me when I've been on the pod for over 150 episodes, and she knows more about the Maloney fight than I do. I didn't even fucking see it.
There's levels to this, Rob. She's watched it and you haven't.
She's done it. I haven't.
Yeah, shout out to Helen Mirren for winning Bellew of the Week for episode 399. Didn't see that one coming, but she did well.
Someone tweeted out to her.
That's what we're saying, Donnie. We're going to try and get her on, man, hopefully.
Yeah, you got to tweet it out to her and let her know she won.
Absolutely. Well done, Helen.